YouTube Nation, Maven TV, aka Me TV, aka Crosscheck Orange. You know what? Let's just stop right now. I'm in a great mood today, as y'all can see. But I will say this right now. When I'm in a good mood, don't hurt my good mood. Don't hurt my happy mood. Because I'm telling you like this. I understand it's hot as a motherfucker outside, alright? It's hot as shit. I just came back from the store not too long ago, alright? So I'm a little hot, alright? But understand this. When it's hot outside, understand that people get aggravated and they get irritated and everything else. Don't act like a fucking asshole. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Now, I'm explaining this to you guys because I'm sure some of you dudes from the hood, y'all know what I'm talking about already, all right? Y'all gonna know what I'm talking about, all right? So I'm walking down the street coming from the store, right? And this dude is staring at me. Now, y'all know there's a 2-second rule. Now, for those who don't understand the 2-second rule, I will explain it to you guys, all right? 2-second rule. If you don't know somebody that you're walking by, you stare up, you look him up and down for 2 seconds to see if that guy's a threat. If not, keep rolling. If you look any more than 2 seconds, you suspect. You suspect. It's going to be a problem, all right? So what the dude do? He's staring at me up and down. I'm looking at this dude like, all right, he's giving me the 2-second rule. And then he keeps, y'all know how it is. He's walking by, and he tries to look out of the corner of his eye and keeps staring at me with this fucking ice grill shit. Nah, there's a problem. There's a problem right now. So, y'all know how it is. I say, the fuck you looking at? The fuck you looking at? And you know what he does? This is what he does. Try to keep walking. Nah, don't try to act tough and walk away. It don't work that way. I've called you the fuck out. All right? That ice grill shit, it don't work unless you're ready to do something. It bounce off me like bullets bounce off Superman, baby. You have to understand that. So when I'm calling you out, and the thing is, the dude was like 100 pounds. He had this big ass beard. His beard was wider than him. So I'm like, how the fuck is this dude staring me down more than 2 seconds? He's suspect this shit. And we're going to talk about that today. More about people being suspect. Because I got a lot of video to show y'all today. We saw it last week with Dwight Howard. We got more suspect shit. But I'm trying to be in a nice mood. So I'm not going to really get on people that much. All right? But I will talk today about some problems we have in sports. Now, let's start the show. All right? Let's start the show. For those who don't know, before I start the show, I want to say, all right, the people in Netherlands, for those who didn't hear, their soccer stadium collapsed to kill one person and like 15 people were injured. Please, by all means, get better, all you people, and my prayers go out to the person who died. It's a shame. His family, it's a shame. It really is. All right? Now, also, for those who did not see, baseball, all right? Baseball, yes. For those who didn't see last week, because I want to stress this, quite a bit, because the media has been quite nasty about this. For those who didn't see, there was a guy last week who tried to catch a foul ball. I'm sorry, he didn't try to catch a foul ball. Josh Hamilton threw a ball to him after the inning was over. And he reached over to catch the ball and then fell over the rail. Now, for those who didn't see it, I will say, check this out real quick. And please, pay attention to the commentary because we have to talk about this, all right? So check this out.
Jackson strikes out, so Derek Holland impressive early. He's got 4 strikeouts.
Well, this is it. That's why there was time taken. Wow. Just for baseball.
You were right, Ray. Somebody did tumble.
They're still looking. See that splash?
I feel bad. I was giving my starting pitcher theory, and this poor guy just fell like who knows how far. It's a long ways.
I wonder if he's up. They're still looking down there.
Now, as you can see, those guys are making fun of him. They're just pretty much trying to make light of the subject during the time. Now, I want to say this right now. I was watching NBC 10 about 11 o'clock that day, the day that it happened, right? And they showed the video. And people, and the anchors, they're making fun of this guy. It was all your ball. They're tearing this guy apart. They're making jokes. They're just ripping this guy apart, right? And then they go to commercial. When they come back from commercial, that's when they announce breaking news. The guy who flipped over the rail died. Yes. And then they say, parents, if your kids are away, please take them out of the room. Viewer discretion is advised. It's just a horrific accident. And this, that, and third. Wait a minute. You didn't say that shit before the commercial. See, the guy, and they knew. The guy fell 20 feet. He fell 20 feet, and people were like, well, that's not a big deal. We can make fun of him. Do you know how high 20 feet is? You got to think of basketball. Regulation basketball court is what? 10, 12 feet? About 12 feet, right? 10 to 12 feet around there? So that's a regulation basketball court. Multiply that and then try to fall on your head. Yeah, see, and like I said, the first thing they said was, it was funny, and like I said, you cannot make fun of something like that when a guy falls 20 feet. You can die from less. All right? So when the guy died, all of a sudden it was a horrific accident. And then here's the big part. Because if they would have apologized about their, their comments and everything, I wouldn't have had a problem with it because they didn't know. But they didn't even offer a fucking apology. See, Philly media, you're starting to see. You have to understand that you make us look bad. And the thing is, when you make us look bad, because you correlate all the information to the fans, and it makes the fans look bad, you have to understand that that's pathetic. And I want to say this because if anyone saw the home run derby yesterday, baseball fans, you have to understand that ball is not worth it. Anyone who saw the home run derby yesterday, a guy almost fell out of the stands trying to catch a home run ball to the point where his whole body, his one arm was slung over the rail trying to catch the ball, and fans were holding him up. So that, guys, it's not worth it. Seriously, it's not worth it. It's just not. All right? We've seen parents, and I'll talk about, you know what? I won't even talk about, I'll talk about that next week. Save it for next week. But people are getting too crazy for baseball. You guys, you got to understand. More baseball news. You got to talk about this, all right? Derek Jeter, all right? Derek Jeter gets his 3,000th hit. Now, I have to talk about this because guess what? Every channel I turn to, they're going to make sure I know about this, all right? So, Derek Jeter gets his 3,000th hit, and his 3,000th hit is a home run, which tells me that's bullshit. It doesn't happen. The pitcher tipped off his pitch. There's no way that would have happened. He went 5 for 5. Yes, he went 5 for 5. I don't have a problem with that, all right? He had a great game. But this is what bothers me. For those who don't know, Derek Jeter has bowed out of the All-Star game. And why? Because he says it was emotional distress and physical distress of trying to hit the 3,000 hits. Yeah, that's pussy. That's pussy. You Yankee, I swear to God, the Yankees are the biggest bunch of bitches I've ever seen in my life. We've seen this time, what was it? Not too long ago, Posada. Oh, I just wanted to cry and moan it. We saw what happened with him. They tried to make a big controversy over it that one weekend. And now we got Derek Jeter doing this bullshit. It's seriously, play the fucking game. That's what you get paid for, all right? I'm not trying to hear emotional and physical distress. I'm not trying to hear that, all right? You were on the DL not too long ago, and then you came back and got your hits. It's not a big deal. You were going to get it regardless because your contract tells you you were going to get it regardless. All right? So I'm not trying to hear this emotional bullshit, all right? Now, the guy, this is the fucked up part. The guy who caught the ball, I'll explain this to you guys. The guy who caught the ball decided to give Derek Jeter his ball back. He was being nice, right? All right, gave his ball back. The Yankees gave him all types of memorabilia and even gave him tickets to the game, right, for the rest of the season. Well, reports have come out that this guy is going to have to pay all the taxes on everything given to him, over $14,000 in taxes, and the guy has student loans and problems, so it builds on top of his taxes. Look, and for what I'm hearing, the Yankees organization or Derek Jeter will not do anything about it. Look, I'll have to say this. Derek Jeter, if you are smart, you will pay the taxes on all that memorabilia, or the Yankees organization, one of you guys, you have to pay that. That guy didn't have to give you the ball, all right? He was being nice and gave you the ball back because he recognized the hard work. He could have easily took that ball and put on eBay and sold it for twice of what it was worth. That would have got him out of his tax problem. Seriously, out of his student loans. He could have easily sold it, but he gave it to you guys. And now you give him all this free stuff, and now it's on top of it, he's got to pay over $14,000 that goes on top of his student loans, and you're not going to help the guy? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Help that guy. He didn't have to be nice about it. He didn't have to. He didn't have to give you the ball. Do what's right and give him his due. Seriously, give him the money. That's it. Just pay it for him. That makes no sense. Seriously, he showed how his loyalty as a Yankee fan is. You should do him a favor and just pay those taxes. That's ridiculous. All right, absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, I need to move on, guys. NFL news. That's right. We have a lot of NFL news. I told you guys that this lockout would not last. And they're already talking about how they're getting ready to settle it within 7 to 10 days. We'll see if that happens. Okay? But I have some football news. For those who don't know, Michael Irvin, all right? Apparently he found out that his brother is gay. And now Michael Irvin is starting to question himself on whether if it's genetic or not and if it really impacts all the decisions that he's made in his life. Yes, all right? And I want to speak about it. The reason I'm speaking about this is because Plaxico Burress, that's right, it's going to lead up to this, so just calm down, guys. Plaxico Burress, for those who don't understand, Plaxico Burress is still trying to push Philadelphia. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, if anyone saw his Twitter, all right, you know what? I'm just going to show you right now. This is what he actually said about Philadelphia. So Plex says on his Twitter, "What's up, Philly? I was chilling with Desean Jackson last night. My man is mad funny." And then he retweeted it because he spelled Desean Jackson's name wrong. All right? He had to do it, so he had to do it again. And then afterwards, a fan asked him, Plex, how many minutes after the lockout are you going to wait to sign with the Eagles? And Plex says, as soon as they will have me. That's what he says. However, Plex fails to realize that he is associating himself with the wrong people. So Desean Jackson, you want to ride with Desean Jackson? Do you realize what Desean Jackson has done here already that has pissed me off and many others off? Matter of fact, We got radio feed of what he did last week. And for those who don't know what happened, he went at a caller and called him a gay-ass fag. Let's check out the radio. Listen to the radio feed.
Beastie Blunts.
What up, fellas? What up,
homie?
Yeah, New York. I'm Gangrene Nation, no fucking John. So I just want to wish you a lot of luck on your motherfucking,
Troy in Tennessee. Troy.
Hey, I just want to know if Desean Jackson got his dick knocked in the dirt, won't get time yet.
Don't worry about it.
What type of question is that? Say no homo, you gay ass faggot.
All right, so we got
Now, before you white knights come in here and all you Desean defenders, understand this. I'm going to put this down because I don't want to hear all your video replies or any of this bullshit, all right? When the guy asked him if his dick is in the dirt, all right, if it's going to happen this year, that means, are you going to get knocked the fuck out? That's what it means. That's the slang. That's what it means, all right? You ever hear the song, my face is in the ground and my dick's in the dirt? That's what it means. You got knocked the fuck out. That's what it means. He's questioning him on his concussion, on when it happened, all right? Desean brought this on himself because afterwards, like I said, he wouldn't go across the middle. He turned the Tom Pick thing in the end zone to one day. I don't want to get hit in this thing. Fuck out of here. He brought it on himself, which tells me either Desean either doesn't know his slang or, so he's not that hood, all right? Because that's an old ass saying. He's either not that hood or he can't take criticism. And we saw that last year when Andy Reid called him out and he go running off and bullshit. We don't have time for that, all right? You have to understand, Philly fans, understand this, all right? Understand this. We are known for not taking shit from anyone, all right? So when you hear other fans from outside of Philly say, oh, Philly fans don't take shit from people, yeah, that also means arrogance and showboating. We don't take that shit. We don't deal with that shit. You want to do that to show? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. We don't need you, all right? And for all you fans who think we do need him, fuck him. We got enough weapons, all right? And on top of it, if we get Plax, it's a whole different story, all right? I'm not trying to hear this. I'm really not trying to hear this. Desean, you fucked up. And for those, there's a link in the info bar. Desean Jackson afterwards apologized for his actions because people were getting on him on his Twitter. So what does this mean? It means he apologized because he fell to peer pressure, not because he really meant it. Yes. Understand that. So he doesn't give a shit. He didn't really mean sorry to that guy. All right? No. He only did because people were jumping on his ass about it. Understand that, people. This is the type of person Desean Jackson is. He's a little arrogant little bitch. And I'm calling him a bitch. And if he has, and seriously, if Desean has a problem with what I'm saying to him, you can always come see me, bro. You can always. I don't have a problem with that at all. All right? He's a little bitch acting like he's big time. That's the problem. These guys want to act like fucking stars instead of players. Instead of doing their job. I don't have to see. Philly fans don't have time for this shit. They don't, all right? But in other Eagles news, NFL Network has said that the Eagles are trying to get Albert Haynesworth. They said it on Saturday. Yes, all right, so I'll say this now. It was the second time now that Albert Haynesworth has showed up on this show. We talked about him, all right? I said this before. If you're going to get Albert Haynesworth, it's a no risk. And I say this because Washington has already pretty much eaten a lot of that contract. All right, so if the Eagles pick him up at this point and only use him for positional purposes or formational purposes, it will be a no risk. You will pay, and I don't want to say the bare minimum, but it will be a no risk. You can get him and not really hurt your cat. I'm just saying, all right? Understand this, guys. This is where everything is going. I need to move on, all right? NBA basketball. This is some serious shit. I sent this on the fan page. Was it not yesterday? I mean, we talked about this yesterday or not, was it the day before? Dwyane Wade. We need to talk about this, all right? Dwyane Wade has been offered, and this is what's really sad. He's been offered a charity from Kentucky Fried Chicken, all right? We're going to say this, KFC. Now, I've seen other reports. Yahoo came out and said, oh, it's a funny proposal, this, that, and third. If the lockout happens, no, it's not funny. It's not funny. And we're going to get serious right now. Because I saw you guys' comments, and I saw what you guys were saying about how it's racist, this, that, and the third. But some of you know the history of Kentucky Fried Chicken, all right? Kentucky Fried Chicken used to be called Coon Chicken, Coon Fried Chicken, this and third. If you don't believe me, here's the picture. Now, since then, Kentucky Fried Chicken has been bought up by a British group, but they have to understand they're still using the Colonel. And as we all know, the Colonel owned slaves back in the day. Understand the history of Kentucky Fried Chicken, all right? Then they tried to call it Kitchen Fresh Chicken, trying to get away from it, and they couldn't, and this went back to KFC. Understand the history of this. So Dwyane Wade is going, they want Dwyane Wade to come back because apparently before the NBA, Dwyane Wade used to work for KFC. Now, let me say this right now, all right? What he was getting paid at KFC was all, I don't want to say it was slave wages. I don't want to say that. That's just wrong. But it was minimum wage, all right? So understand why I feel if Dwyane Wade don't do this, all right? If this is for charity, and I say this because he's stuck in a box right now, all right? Because we're going to hear so many jokes about the Miami Heat, or we're going to see video on pictures of Dwyane Wade because they want him to work over the counter, yes, or in the drive-thru, yes. All right, for charity. I understand this. This man has millions of dollars. If charity was really that big of a deal, he can put his own money because it's going to be a tax write-off anyway. All right. So understand. So people, if he doesn't accept it, people will say he doesn't care about charity. If he does accept it, you're going to have a group of people that says this is racist. What the hell are you doing? And then you're going to have other people that says, you know, don't you understand what's going on? You're making yourself look bad, just like Dwight Howard made himself look bad. A user had said last week about Dave Chappelle, about how, you know, after we saw Dwight Howard dressing in drag pretty much, how black men are being degraded in, you know, in these type of films and this, that, and the third. This is another way of being degraded. So you have to understand this. This is about as bad as, you know, people trying to push Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima. All right? So understand your history. Black folks, understand history. All right? I don't expect people coming, you know, some people who don't understand this whole history and don't understand the whole culture and why people are against it. All right, but this is going to be big for Dwyane Wade at this point. Hopefully, I would say personally, don't take it. And if you want to show charity, you know, give, because like I said, it's going to be a tax write-off anyway. But just don't do it. Seriously, don't do it. There's nothing funny about this. I can't even believe that Yahoo would say it was funny. There's no joke about it. There's no fucking joke about it. Especially when you know how it feels and know the history or know your ancestors or, like I said, or know how it feels yourself to be in that situation where you've been treated badly because of, you know, race. Seriously, it's not a joking matter. But Yahoo's going to tell you it's a joking matter. But then again, look who wrote the article. Anyways, also I want to keep on NBA news because there's no news really about the lockout. But apparently, there's one player who's ready for the lockout, and that's Joe Johnson, because he's rolling around in a big-ass tank. It looks like Joe Johnson is prepped for the lockout. I mean, it must have something to do with that big-ass contract that he got last year. It has to be. But that's not the point. Look, I need to move on, NHL. There's the Flyers, all right? The Flyers. I told y'all I had some news with the Flyers. Let me tell you right now, all right? The Flyers, of our sources say, the Flyers are going to trade Bob. Yes, they're going to trade our other goalie, Bob. This is, come on, you got to be kidding. How many trades are you going to make, Flyers? How many? How many? I want to know, because this is, y'all already know how I feel about this. I need to move on, all right? For those who don't know, the Flyers have also pushed out what the new Winter Classic jerseys will look like, all right? And for those who didn't see it, because Carter's number has been taken, you know, God bless Jeff Carter. His Twitter is hilarious. I'll get in that later. But I will say that the new Winter Classic jerseys are out, and Simmons, I'm telling you now, he's taking Jeff Carter's number. Let's look at what it looks like. Now, even though those Winter Classic jerseys don't look too bad design-wise, I will say that I did some research online and looked at other concept artists online to see what they came up with Flyers jerseys, and they look so much better. Well, at least some of them do, all right? So let's look at that real quick. Now, I know a lot of Flyers fans like the previous Winter Classic jersey. However, I feel these concepts actually overshadow the current Winter Classic jersey. These artists have done an amazing job, and they show actually more history of what the Flyers are about. Even the Spectrum jersey shows if you just take the Phantoms off of it and put the Flyers logo on it, it really works. So like I said, the history of the Flyers is there, and it's sad to see that these guys are putting in so much work and not getting the credit that they deserve. The two previous pictures at the end, they're so badass. And you know what? The guy who designed those jerseys, he does it for all teams as well. It's not just the Flyers, all right? So I'm just letting you guys know that his site, I mean, man, if you saw the Canucks, the Sharks, all their jerseys, they're amazing. This guy knows what he's doing, and he knows how it works when it comes down to design and how they can be made, if it would really work or cost productive. It's really well done design-wise, all right? I'm telling you, Flyers, you can seriously learn something from these guys. I mean, it goes to show you the passion these guys put in it, or just the technical design they put in it, but the Flyers don't want to probably hear that. I mean, seriously, if you go on Modell's site, or you go on like the Flyers, NHLFlyers.com or whatever, you look at those jerseys. There's like 2 or 3 jerseys that are there, and you're just like, really? That's it? That's it? Like, it's a joke. Like, if you come out with more stylish jerseys, more people will probably buy them. I'm just saying. If you come up with something different, you know, a sleeker, more contemporary design, I understand that people love, like I said, it's a contemporary design, but still with an old school feel. You're not getting rid of that logo, so it's not going anywhere. I mean, seriously, this is something that you need to think about, Flyers. I'm just saying, these guys deserve credit. They just really do. Now, let me move on. I want to talk about the U.S. soccer. For those who don't know, let me talk about this. Women's soccer has been amazing. I'll say this now. The game of the week The game of the week was, I'm not going to give it to the U.S. soccer team. No, I'm not going to give it that. The game of the week was France versus England. For those who saw it, that was an amazing game. All right? Now, if you want to talk, that was just pure skill. Now, dramatics, you want to say the U.S. women's soccer team. I want to talk about this because Brazil, all right? Brazil, I want to say this now. I don't have any malice towards Brazil. All right? I don't have any malice towards Brazil at all. But when you start flopping, it's a fucking problem. And I want to say this because, you know, the U.S. was already down. They got screwed twice, all right? One with the red card, and we all know what happened there. And the second goal was offsides, but they never called it, all right? So Brazil already had a lot working for them. And then you go and pull this shit.
Rapinoe with the deep cross. One back. Well defended by Brazil. The defence has taken a lot of criticism, but they're doing the job here. Now another player, this time it's Erica, has gone down needing treatment as well. And I think Brazil are banking on the fact that all this time won't be added on. Not quite sure what the injury is, but it suits Brazil very, very well indeed to just break up the rhythm of the play like this.
And here's the play before.
He's slightly faster than really here. Just how much is the referee going to add on? Jackie Bucksham is going to be the subject of big debates and her decisions here, particularly over that penalty. The one that led Brazil back into the game after they tried for so long.
And there you can see she's getting hit on the backside. I'm not seeing much within. Down Erica goes. And as a player, you want to walk away from the field and think either I won that game or we didn't, but it was decided by the players on the field, and that's the harshest thing, is when the referee comes into play. And whether or not you agree with the penalty, up she goes.
And she's got off the suddenly inflicted game, so that was pure gamesmanship by Brazil.
That's right, you just saw it. She flopped her ass off. And I'm sorry. Let's say Brazil, I respect Brazil because Marta, she's a great player. But this is bullshit. Seriously, don't try to flop and burn time because she thought she was being smart. And the person who did was Erica. She was sexy too, but she's flopping. And then when she flops, she thinks, oh, it's going to burn time, but it actually added time to the clock. It really added 3+ minutes to the clock, which gave the U.S. women's team a chance to score. That's what happened. That's exactly, I mean, seriously, you saw her getting carted off on the stretcher. She gets off the stretcher and then runs back onto the fucking field. This is why many of us, a lot of us, feel that either when someone's injured, you stop the clock, or if they're injured, they can't come back to the game. They can't come back. It's that simple. That will stop all the flopping and all the bullshit. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke, and it was a disgrace. I'm sure people in Brazil are pissed off. It was a disgrace, all right? But justice was served, because when we scored and they couldn't do nothing, we went to penalty kicks. We scored all 5 penalty kicks. They couldn't do anything. And I'm telling you now, Hope Solo, seriously, holla at me. Call me, girl. I'm seriously, I understand it's some competition because Jeff Carter, he didn't came out on his Twitter and said, you know, Hope Solo, I'm a fan, call me. No, Hope, you don't need him. Jeff Carter ain't, I'm putting like this, he's not as charismatic as me. All right, you got your own money. You don't need him. I'm just saying. And his arm ain't strong enough. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Jeff Carter don't know how to hold any women because you can ask Ryan Howard because he took his girl from him. I'm just saying. I like Jeff Carter, but his arm ain't strong enough. Anyways, speaking of strong arms, I want to talk about my event status spotlight players. Now, I'm going to be nice because it goes to Brian Wilson and Cody Ross of the San Francisco Giants, which is the biggest what the fuck charity I've ever seen in my life. Check this out.
To make them shiver when I deliver criminal lyrics from a worldwide mob figure. Thug niggas from everywhere, Mr. Machiavelli. Niggas is waiting for some thug shit, that's what they tell me. So many rumors, but I'm infinite.
See what I mean? Giants fans, it's what? Understand? What? I mean, come on, man. And then you gonna hold up the championship. Look, y'all on borrowed time. We taking it back. I'm just letting y'all know now, all right? But I'm trying to be nice about it, because I'm telling you now, that shit is suspect. It's suspect. And if I was really nasty today, I could have really used that video in a different context and really blast on y'all guys, but I'm not going to do that, all right? I'm trying to be nice. Understand, Giants fans, that I don't hate the San Francisco Giants, but when you come out and be fucking classless, I'll dog your team all day. So if you decide you want to jump in and say some shit, I'm telling you now, I will use that video again if I need to, just in a different context. Anyways, if any of you guys, like I said, if you have any athletes in your area or in your city and they're doing great for charity and there's video of it, let me know so I can give them the proper respect. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.